Picture this. It's 2 a.m. The whole house is quiet, everyone else is asleep. The city outside has finally stopped moving. And you're sitting on the couch, maybe reading, maybe just thinking, when your cat silently jumps up beside you. Doesn't make a sound, doesn't demand anything, just settles in next to you, like they've been waiting for exactly this moment all day. And in that quiet, something in you exhales. Not because something good happened, not because a problem got solved, just because they're there. If you know that feeling, this video is about to explain something about you that most people in your life have probably never fully understood. For as long as anyone can remember, the world has had a very specific idea of what a cat person looks like. Introverted, mysterious, slightly detached, probably owns too many candles. And look, some of that lands, no judgment. But here's where it gets interesting, because science actually went looking for the real psychology behind cat people. And what it found completely shattered the stereotype. A study involving over 600 people compared cat owners and dog owners across 5 core personality dimensions. And one result stood out above everything else. Cat owners scored significantly higher in openness to experience than any other group tested. Openness to experience is the personality trait most strongly linked to creativity, intellectual depth, and the ability to sit comfortably with things that are complex and uncertain. In other words, cat people don't just tolerate the unknown, they're genuinely drawn to it. And suddenly, the cat makes complete sense. Because a cat is the most ambiguous creature you will ever share a home with. They will stare at a blank wall for 20 minutes and give you absolutely no explanation. They will ignore you completely for 3 days, and then, at 2 a.m., decide you're their favorite person on Earth. You didn't just choose a pet. You chose a puzzle. And you chose it because your brain finds puzzles completely irresistible. Now here's the part that surprised researchers the most. A team at the University of Vienna spent years studying the bond between cats and their owners. And what they found looked less like a pet relationship and more like a human attachment bond. Mutual emotional attunement, reading each other's moods without words, responding to each other through signals most people would completely miss. Your cat knows when you're sad. Not in a vague, general way, in a specific, measurable, documented way. Studies show cats actively seek proximity, increase physical contact, and adjust their behavior during periods of owner distress. They don't try to fix it. They don't offer solutions. They don't tell you it's going to be okay. They just stay. And for most cat people, that's not a small thing. That's everything. Because cat people have usually learned through their own life that the most powerful thing one living creature can offer another isn't advice, isn't enthusiasm, isn't noise. It's presence. Quiet, steady, unwavering presence. Your cat learned that about you, and they showed up for it every single night. Okay, now here's the one that's going to completely flip how you see yourself. Multiple psychology studies looking at empathy scores across different personality types found that people who strongly bond with cats score higher in empathy than average. Not lower, higher. Which completely destroys the idea that cat people are cold or emotionally unavailable. Here's why it actually makes perfect sense. Cats don't communicate the way humans do. There's no loud, obvious signal, no jumping, no clear external confirmation that everything is fine. A cat communicates in a slow blink, a subtle shift in posture, the exact position of their tail, the specific quality of a particular silence. And cat people, after years of living with this, develop something genuinely rare. The ability to read what isn't being said. To notice the shift in a room before anyone has spoken. To pick up on how someone actually feels underneath what they're performing. To sit with someone in their silence and understand it without needing it explained. You know that moment when you walk into a room and immediately feel that something is off, even though everything looks completely normal on the surface? That's not overthinking. That's a skill. One your cat quietly trained into you, one slow blink at a time. Now here's the part that will genuinely blow your mind. A cat's purr vibrates at a frequency between 25 and 150 hertz. And here's what nobody tells you about that. Consistent research findings show that sound frequencies in that exact range actively promote bone density, tissue healing, and measurable reductions in stress hormones in humans. Your cat isn't just purring because they're content. They are, on a biological, measurable, documented level, healing you. Research from the Minnesota Stroke Institute found that cat owners were 40% less likely to experience a heart attack over a 10-year period compared to non-cat owners. 40%. So the next time someone tries to tell you that cats don't actually care, you can very calmly let them know that yours has been actively working on your cardiovascular health this entire time. And then, go back to your evening. Here's what ties all of this together. Cat people don't choose cats randomly, and cats don't choose their people randomly either. Research consistently shows that people drawn to cats tend to share specific qualities: independence, comfort with solitude, a preference for depth over noise, and a quiet internal world that doesn't need constant external validation to feel real. Dogs need you to show up with energy, with enthusiasm, with active, visible, performed engagement. Cats need something completely different. They need you to be comfortable just existing, in your own space, without performing your happiness, without filling every silence, without needing the relationship to announce itself loudly to feel genuine. And the people who find that kind of connection not just acceptable, but deeply preferable, are usually people who carry those same qualities inside themselves. You're not antisocial, you're selective. You're not cold, you're someone who has always understood that the realest connections are usually the quietest ones. And somewhere in your home right now, there is a small creature who has known that about you since the very first day. They just never felt the need to say it out loud.